What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, August 16th, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 16:31 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East and Europe, and also with the monkeypox. So, the World Health Organization is now warning that more Mpox or monkeypox cases are likely in Europe in the coming days and weeks after the first official case of Mpox was reported in Sweden. And Pakistan has detected 3 patients with the Mpox virus, the health department in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province said today. And officials are investigating after Mpox was detected in wastewater from 2 San Francisco districts in Oceanside and in the city's southeastern part. So we have San Francisco, Pakistan, Sweden, and we're also hearing more cases in the East Coast. Now, monkeypox was also detected in wastewater of Newark, New Jersey. CDC wastewater data reveals that the monkeypox virus has been detected in 1 to 80% of samples in New Jersey over the past 4 weeks, with the most recent detection occurring within the last 2 weeks. And 3 monkeypox cases have been reported in New York State now, 2 in Oneida County and 1 in Otsego County. And the strain of Mpox behind the current global health emergency is believed to be up to 10 times deadlier than the one that swept the globe in 2022. And Berlin has reported the highest number of Mpox cases in Germany with a total of 33 infections. Okay, so we have Germany, Sweden, New York, New Jersey, San Francisco. I also heard Illinois had some cases, Pakistan. Okay, so it's spreading, guys, and the timing is really interesting with the election coming up and apparently this thing being 10 times deadlier than the one from 2022. So we could see lockdowns soon, guys. Get prepared, okay? In addition to that, we have the situation with Iran and Israel and Russia and Ukraine, which is continuing to escalate. And what you're looking at here is some fresh video footage coming out of Israel showing Israeli fighter jets practicing aerial refueling for long range strikes on Iran. Okay, so they have to refuel their fighter jets on the way to Iran because Iran is very far away from Israel and fighter jets don't have large fuel tanks. So these aerial refuelers have to accompany the fighter jets and refuel them close to Iran before Israel were to strike. So Israel's primary fighter jets are F-15s and F-35s for long-range strike missions. They also have F-16s, but for long-range strike, they primarily rely on F-35s and F-15s. So this is very serious. You can actually see the F-35s here. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 F-35s, and these look to be like F-15s. These are Israel's strike fighters, okay, to penetrate deep into enemy airspace and deliver air-to-ground munitions. So this is a huge sign that Israel is preparing to strike Iran, possibly with the U.S. And Israel's foreign minister told his French and British counterparts today that if Iran attacks, we expect the coalition to join Israel not only in defense, but also in attacking significant targets in Iran. Okay, so the foreign ministers of the UK and France went to Israel to try to talk Israel out of any kind of big attack on Iran in response to Iran's upcoming attack. And the Israeli foreign minister said, we expect our allies to help us in a counterstrike on Iran. And now we have this video of Israel training with their F-35s and F-15s in refueling. And Biden said that a truce deal in Gaza is closer than we have ever been, which I think is a bunch of BS, but it could be true. And the Biden administration is aiming to reach a Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal next week, a senior U.S. official said. Now, if this deal does go through, this could be the biblical peace treaty in the Middle East, the covenant with many. Okay, we'll have to wait and see. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing their most aggressive discount yet on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparedness.com. They've lowered the price of their 3-month food supply from $800 down to $500. 3 months of emergency food for $500. That is a really good deal, and it will last you 25 years because it is freeze dried and it's all packed within 6 rugged water resistant buckets. So you have all that food in a small package. You can store that pretty much anywhere. And you can also take it with you. If you have to bug out, you can throw that in your vehicle easily. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $300 off the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, $500 for it. Also, they have free shipping and handling included. In addition to the 3-month supply, they also have a general store. And to get to their general store, you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see the My Patriot Supply logo at the very bottom of the page. You click on that, and it'll take you to their general store, and they have all kinds of discounts. And to get the deals, you got to use my link, preparewithnyprepper.com, and I'll leave the link in the description below this video. But it sounds like the peace treaty that Israel signs right before tribulation starts, and then halfway through tribulation, Russia and a bunch of Middle Eastern countries launched a surprise attack on Israel, violating the treaty. And Hamas said that they will not accept new conditions from Israel in a proposal put forward during ceasefire talks in Qatar, officials told AFP on Friday. So Hamas is rejecting these new conditions, even though the Biden administration is optimistic. Hamas is saying you have no reason to be optimistic because we reject your proposal. And in the last 24 hours, U.S. Central Command forces destroyed a Houthi ground control station located in Yemen. The ground control station was deemed a clear and imminent threat to U.S. and coalition forces, as well as merchant vessels in the region. And Egyptian sources told Sky News Arabia that at the Gaza ceasefire talks, differences between the parties remain large. Okay, so there's still big differences. And the Washington Post is reporting that Hezbollah will not launch a retaliatory attack on Israel during the talks in Qatar. Okay, so they're saying that they're going to wait until these talks end next week to strike. And Trump said during a gathering of Jewish leaders last night at his Bedminster estate in New Jersey on the fight against anti-Semitism that if he was president, then Israel would receive the support it needs to quickly end the war in Gaza, with him once again reiterating that Hamas must release the remaining American hostages before he returns to the White House, or else the consequences for Hamas will be severe. And I want to update you guys on the situation in Ukraine and Russia. So the commander-in-chief of Ukraine's military updated Zelensky today on the situation in the Kursk region where Ukraine is actively invading Russia. And he said that Ukrainian forces advanced 1 to 3 kilometers in various directions in the Kursk region. We're hearing reports of clashes going on in Mala Lakina between Ukrainian forces and Russian forces. We're hearing that about 700 Russian soldiers may be encircled due to the blowing up of a bridge in Glushkova. And Ukraine also struck and fully collapsed a bridge in the village of Zvanoe today using HIMARS. And apparently, Russia will now lose access to 700 kilometers of land in the Kursk region because of these bridges being blown up. Okay, so Ukraine is making huge gains. And the mayor of the city of Lgov in the Kursk region, Alexei Klemeshov, is advising people who left the city not to return until the situation improves. And there was a big kaboom and fires reported last night near the Kerch Bridge. Apparently, Ukraine struck a ferry crossing. That's the Crimean Bridge. And just about 2 hours ago, there were 7 kabooms heard near the Kerch Bridge. And Ukraine conducted a large-scale drone attack on multiple Russian Air Force bases, reportedly the largest drone attack since the war started. And Ukrainian forces captured a command post that was part of the Russian 60th Motor Rifle Brigade's 20th Rifle Battalion. And Russian authorities continued to expand mandatory evacuations in multiple districts in the Kursk Oblast. There have been friendly fire incidents reported between Russian logistics forces and Russian air forces. And the U.S. is looking at supplying Ukraine with JSAM air-launched cruise missiles and is already conducting preliminary preparations to upgrade Ukrainian F-16 so they have the ability to launch them. Guys, JSAM missiles are some of the best cruise missiles that we have for our fighter jets, okay? We sold a lot of them to Poland and Finland, and there's also an extended range version that can go up to 1,200 miles, and now they're working on the extreme range version, which can go beyond 1,200 miles. But Ukraine is going to get the short range version, the original JSAM, which goes up to 570 miles, I believe, which is still insane. I mean, I think they should be able to reach Moscow from Ukraine with that. And Russia has started building a network of trenches 45 kilometers behind their border with Ukraine. And Russia has moved thousands of troops from the front lines in Ukraine to Kursk. And the German military is blaming Russia for a recent sabotage attack on 2 German military bases where the water supply was contaminated with some kind of a poison. And the U.S. said they do not rule out any changes to the policy on the use of American weapons by Ukrainian forces, taking into account the dynamics on the battlefield, the Pentagon reported yesterday. So that means that they're open to revising their policies on Ukraine using long-range weapons in Russia. And a federal level state of emergency has just been declared in the Belgorod region of Russia. And in Poland, a study was recently completed in the capital Warsaw on how many people can be sheltered from missile attacks with existing infrastructure, specifically using underground parking garages and the metro system. The mayor of Warsaw concluded that 2.5 million people can be sheltered in the metro system and in the parking garages in Warsaw. So Poland is seriously concerned about missile strikes, possibly nuclear strikes on their capital, and they're looking for ways to shelter their people, and they're going to start building bomb shelters, okay? And Croatia is going to be reintroducing compulsory military service starting January 1st of next year. The country's defense minister, Ivan Anusik, announced late on Thursday the decision marks a return to conscription, which was suspended in 2008 when the country shifted to a volunteer-based system. And the U.S. Navy will be conducting live and inert bombing tests at the Ocala National Forest in Florida throughout the weekend as late as 11 p.m. each night. Bomb testing will take place at the Pine Castle Range Complex within the forest from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Thursday, August the 15th. Testing will continue at the same times on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. During bombing periods, naval officials advise residents that they may hear loud noises. And what you're looking at here is the flight path of a U.S. nuclear bomber that was airborne over Kentucky and Tennessee late last night for the second night in a row. This is extremely unusual, guys. And want to just show you guys the footage of Ukraine blowing up this massive bridge in Russia. This is in the Kursk region. Check this out. They completely collapsed this whole bridge, and apparently this now has cut off 700 square kilometers of territory from Russia, and hundreds of Russian troops are now stuck because they're not going to be able to cross the river unless they swim across, of course. But you can see the entire bridge completely destroyed by Ukraine. So Ukraine showing their tactical prowess and resilience. Okay. Now, this afternoon, we did hear a good amount of emergency action messages. They were directed towards tactical units, which could be either a nuclear bomber or a nuclear war command and control plane. But there were a lot this afternoon directed to tactical units. And late last night, we had this very strange flurry of emergency action messages, which, if you don't know what those are, they're nuclear attack options that are broadcasted to our nuclear forces from the Pentagon. And so last night we had like 5 back to back over a 30-minute period. And I thought for sure something was about to go down, and then nothing. It quieted down. But I do have my 24/7 stream up right now. You can come in and hang out, listen to the emergency action messages, check out the flight trackers, watch some webcams, and you can also interact with people. But I might be back later on tonight with an update. If so, it'll be a lot later, probably closer to midnight or after midnight Eastern time. So I hope you guys enjoy your evening. And I want to just remind you that I am going away in a few weeks to Poland. I'm going to be gone in mid-September for 2 weeks. So I will be bringing my equipment, and I will be setting up the 24/7 streams, but I won't have as much time to do regular updates like this one. So I'm going to keep the 24/7 streams while I'm in Poland, but I'm not going to be able to do the regular updates like this. So just wanted to let you guys know that's going to be mid-September, okay, for 2 weeks. But I'll catch you guys on the next one, or I'll see you in the live stream. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.